Geez, what have I done?
So Peter, maybe, we're going to turn it off of practice mode.
Okay.
So we are so grateful. Thank you for showing up. We are super happy to do this. This is actually, we love new beginnings. And this is such a season for beginnings. Like, Andy, have we launched a few builders?
Just a few, yeah. We've done this a few times.
We have, but it's a magical process, and we're so grateful that you're joining us today, and you've invested this time in you and those that you care about, because this choice is going to make a massive impact in your life. So
yeah, I love thinking about how when we share these precious gifts of the earth, it makes a difference in that life. But when you choose to do doTERRA as a business, then think of the difference that difference makes, right? You become a difference maker and a difference multiplier. So I just love to think about that ripple effect and how many lives are liberated as we go out and set them free physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, like the whole gamut is possible.
All of that. So, one of the things that I love is we made that choice. We had no idea where this process would take us or how big that ripple would be. But you are making that choice today, and we're so excited for what that ripple will bring, right? So we're going to just dive in today. We're going to pack it in. This is going to be super efficient and effective. And what we have been preparing over the last, really, it's been years, right? But years. For the last couple months, we've been dialing into this again of what is alive and working and landing for people right now all over the world, and how can we launch in a more powerful way than ever before. Yeah. So that's what we're going to bring to you today. We are actually bringing a beta launch guide that we've been working to create in this time period. And so that's what we're going to work from. And then we will email you after the fact. So we want you to get your oils on, get your notepad and paper out and pencil out, so you can just take notes of the things that you want to remember. But we really want you to just lean into this with us and have the experience. Let this experience become a part of you. Mm-hmm. And the details will follow, right? But pay attention to what's happening right now within you. How's the interpretation working? Tell us in the chat if you've got the interpretation and it's working now.
Cool new feature Zoom is adding
I know.
Up-level our game.
It makes the boundaries just go away, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So we're just going to dive in. Go to the guide, start with the overview. Go from there. So just to give you a vision of where you're going today, we want you to really see and have a vision of not just your first couple steps, but when you begin with the end in mind, you can make it and get amazing places. So we are truly on a process to launch your business and launch it right. Maybe you're relaunching today. That's perfect. Wherever you are in your journey, I want you to take a couple deep breaths and just let go of any expectations that you may have had or any expectations that you even have today, and just lean into this process because it's an incredible process. I love what happens when you trust the process and the person that you're going to become along the way, and the lives that you'll change, like we talked about, are incredible. So we're going to dive into this amazing guide, and this is power packed. We want you to really see where you're going in the end. So you are first launching yourself to elite, and then you are launching, then after we do this process, then you're going to understand this process. It's going to be a part of you so that then you can help 3 people launch to Elite as well. And that, in that, at that time, you're going to be silver. And then you're going to help 3 people do what you did in that process, right? And at that point, you become platinum. Your builders each launch 3 elites, 3 to elite in that process, and you're platinum. And as you can see from these income numbers, this is a powerful process. So we're going to start this out right, so you have the foundation right. And I love what top experts in this business say, once you understand the base rank, you can do anything. So today, our intention is that you understand this process to launch to Elite, and that you are empowered and set up to launch to Elite and help others launch to Elite, okay?
And as you think about Founders 2.0, if you've studied the point system, you've probably figured out by now, it's all about how many people can I launch successfully, right? Like how many leaders can I raise up? So that's why we put so much focus on the launch process, is to just totally dial it in so that it's as streamlined as it possibly can be, so that it's as simple, but also as complete as it can be. I think what we learned in the past was we tried to oversimplify the launch guide, and so it ended up getting watered down too much, too diluted. And so it's time to bring back the launch unfiltered and a CPTG, right? 100% pure.
Absolutely. Love it. And this process, back out now, you know, those are simple steps, but when we do this powerful process, it's going to have a powerful outflow. And I love this image because it gives you a big vision of, hey, there's all these people in the world today. And boy, we're seeing the needs, right? And how clear it is. And then we take ourselves, our prospects, and then what becomes our team and a community. And then out the other side, it creates for us all that meaning, all these lives that are changing, and income at the same time. So know that this pipeline that we'll be talking about and that you're building is producing that. And you know, you've been developing your belief in the product, maybe some of you for a few days, others for longer. But whatever that has been, your belief in the product is key at this rank. And so we want you to keep working on that. Like, I love what has happened. I was talking to someone, they hadn't been using the product like they wanted to. And so they just moved things, right? Location, I move these oils, they go someplace else. And boy, that's brilliant, right? If they're by me, I can use them, they're accessible. So to build belief in your product, number one, you're gonna use it, right? And we're gonna dial into, you know, we need both the belief in the product and we need action. And part of that action is literally, these are the key things. You're gonna share with 45 plus people. You're gonna enroll 15 plus, and you're gonna launch 1 to 3 builders, whatever the case may be. Everybody's different. So don't get attached to anything, but this is the process that will take you to this action that then takes you to the results that you want, right? All of that magic. That's just what we're dialing into today. So as we back out a little bit here, you can see that we're really in this pipes construct. We call it pipes, but it's literally reminding us of the key actions that we do in doTERRA. We prepare ourselves. You prepare you. You invite, present, and enroll your prospects. And then you support your team and community. And that's all you ever do in doTERRA. that's it. And you're also going to see some timelines here along the bottom. See how this first part is happening. This prepare part can happen in the first 72 hours. So now that you've got some clarity through this process, we're going to challenge you, hey, by Wednesday of next week, right? That in that 72 hours, you can have the weekend to take it all in, and then you're going to dive in and get these things created. So if you can create steps 1, 2, and 3 in 72 hours or less, you're going to then share an invite, and that's ideal if it's pre-launch. And that meaning, you know, maybe you are ready to launch right now. Today's May 9th. You are ready to launch in May and you're ready to go. And if that's great, you're taking this process, you're dialing this in really quickly in prepare, and then you're moving into invite and then present. As you duplicate this, maybe you're starting someone that just barely hasn't even received their product yet and they want to launch the business. Well, maybe that we are doing prepare and then starting with these pre-launch activities, and then maybe their launch month is June. You have to decide, but this gives you the ideal. We're showing you the ideal so you can be set up for success, and then you just work it. So this is not a new build guide, but this is the launch guide, the beta version that we have been working on. So then that is going to take you to Elite, right where you want to be. Okay. So ready to dive. So our question for you is, what do you want to create? First, we've got to create a plan, right? And begin with the end in mind. So dial into this. I want you to think about this. You've looked at this before. Are you interested in paying for your product, supplementing your income, or replacing and multiplying your income? And I'm just gonna invite you to decide when it is. First of all, choose which of these categories you're in, write that down, and then decide when you want to hit Elite. Is it gonna be May? Is it gonna be June, right? That's kind of target. Or are you preparing and you're just on a longer process? You can choose, right? Write down when you want to hit Elite by. And then the next thing you're gonna is 90-day goal and the 1-year goal, right? You can get clarity and you can see 90 days out. It's really powerful. And this is showing you, like, as far as doTERRA goes, you can have like this certain income goal per month, and you're also going to dial into a rank goal. And this kind of showing you, hey, you're going to start working towards your Power of 350 and then working toward your Power of 3 250 goal.
Let's go ahead and have you post in the chat box what your target goal is. Are you here to get your product paid for, to supplement your income, or to replace and multiply your income, and by when? Okay.
Love it.
Let's practice declaring it.
So much power in declaring. You're going to also have these powerful questions to dial into. You know, a lot of these questions we're not going to take the time to go into personally, but this is the work that when you do these questions and go deeper on these questions, you're going to have power and fuel to roll forward, right? I love it. Great declarations. And then when are you, oh, I love it. When will you hit Elite? When is your goal to hit Elite by? You may have a little different goal because you're coming here to take a look at launch again. But whatever your desire is, dial into that and get clear with that. I love these questions here, Andy, because it helps me remember how important my own commitment is, right? And why it's important to me to reach these goals.
Yeah, we've been studying a lot about the some basic principles of wealth creation. And one of the most fundamental is what's your purpose? Like if there is if there's a higher reason and higher cause behind creating the wealth that you're creating, then it's far more likely to last, and it's far more likely to make a difference in the world. So soon we're going to have a training about that, but it just really drove home to me why your why matters.
Peter, we can hear you.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, I'm leaving this room again. Okay.
You're good.
That's good.
Awesome. You know, doTERRA has had a lot of time now, right? We've got a lot of history behind us, and we know doTERRA is set up for success because of all the track record, right? We can see all the power of this business opportunity. I love that on that page, you know, we've got those annual disclosure statements to go from. And before we dial into this, actually, I think we have Karina Barras, and I would love, Karina, if you could share, feel free to hop in when you're ready.
Sure. Hi. Good morning.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, I guess.
I know.
Good to be with you.
I'm so happy that you're joining us. And Karina, you set some crazy goals and jumped into this process called doTERRA. What has it given you?
Oh my goodness. It's given me so much. It's almost hard to put into words, really. But I would say, in a nutshell, I mean, it's given me incredible freedom, you know, to be able to create a life that I want, to live where I want, to travel, to do humanitarian work, to really be able to explore and you know, hobbies and, you know, just keep dreaming bigger. And I think, you know, the thing that's so incredible is also the people, really the friends and the connections and the relationships, the ability to just grow and develop, the personal development. You know, it really is life-changing on every level. And I think especially at a time like this, that we're seeing so much uncertainty in the world, to feel so certain in our businesses that are thriving and in our relationships and in our ability to have a positive impact and really be there for people during these times. It's hard to even explain like how incredible it is and just how grateful I am. So I'm really glad you're doing this training. I think it's perfect timing. So if you have, you know, if there's anything I can offer, I'm here.
Yeah.
I would say to those of you that are hopping in though, like that are just starting, like this is such a great time to go all in and just go for it. You will be so incredibly grateful that you did. So I wanted to encourage all of you.
Love it, Karina. Thank you from the voice of experience, right? Of just how many homes are changed by that one choice that you made when you chose to launch a doTERRA business and do so much more. Man, it's crazy to think that of how far that we've come and how many homes have been changed. Do you have a number now, Karina?
So I think it's like 88,000 people on our team around the world, maybe 26, 27 countries. And, you know, it sounds almost unfathomable to me, but it just started with the one, right? And sharing with the next and the next and the next. And it just grows from there. It just grows.
Yeah. Karina, Karina, first, at least one of your decisions happened in a park in California. Just learning, growing, making the magic happen. And boy, think about that. Yeah. One decision and the ripple effect of that. So powerful.
Can I speak to that? Actually, someone was asking, I don't know how much time we have for this, but Someone was asking, where was I, Van Man, where was I when I started? And, you know, I was in a really similar position to, I think, a lot of people right now, because we had lost kind of everything. It was the downturn of the economy and the real estate market, especially. So we lost our home. My husband at the time was in building. He lost his job. I was a massage therapist at a very high-end spa, and I went from being booked all day long to like not booked at all, or maybe one massage a day, because the economy, it was just dropped. And so we were scrambling. We were literally homeless, living in a beater RV. And that's right after that is when I got introduced to doTERRA. So I was really hungry. I was really, I think, open in a way that maybe I hadn't been open before, because before that, you know, we were living a pretty comfortable middle-class life. We owned 5 properties. I was a stay-at-home mom, working part-time. My husband had a good job, and all that just changed kind of overnight for us. So I fell in love with the oils. I loved the oils, absolutely. But then I was really open to the business, and I dove in, you know, pretty hardcore, because I really wanted and needed to create something. I didn't want to have to get a job and be gone from my kids all day. And that would have been the other option. And so I was really, really motivated to build a business where I could still be with my children and really be active with them. I was homeschooling and I had a toddler. And so that was really how I started. And I think there's a lot of people in that position right now as well that are feeling a lot of uncertainty. So it's just such a great time. And it's so amazing that, you know, during the time when all of this is falling apart, like the doTERRA business has grown because we have solutions that people need right now. So I feel like it's a recession-proof business, and it certainly was back then when we started. We started in a recession, and how long ago did I start? Okay, I started 10 years ago, actually. Thanks for the sweet comments. Yeah, I think those are the questions. I would say that, like, for those of you getting started, like, momentum is really your friend. Like, if you can jump in all the way and just share, because it really will get things going. And just like Natalie was sharing about getting to that elite and then helping 3 people get to the elite, like just jumping into that process. It's so simple, but it's so powerful.
Wow. It is so real, and all of that compounds over time. And man, that even a few months, your life was changed, and it just keeps getting sweeter and sweeter 10 years later. So just so all you launchers know, it doesn't take 10 years. You're going to have an incredible experience, but it just keeps going on and on and on. And that's part of the power of the doTERRA opportunity. And so I hope you all can feel that power. Before we dial into what an elite looks like, we want to just watch this. doTERRA just came out with an amazing video on the compensation plan. And it's 4 minutes, you guys, but it'll give you this great big understanding. So we're going to dial into that.
The purpose of this video is to help you understand the doTERRA compensation plan. There are 5 basic ways you can earn commissions with doTERRA: through retail profit, which is earning the 25% difference between retail and wholesale pricing from your retail sales, or through a series of bonuses: Fast Start, Power of 3, Unilevel, and bonus pools. Before we begin, there's a common acronym you will hear throughout this video: PV. PV stands for personal volume. Every product is given a product or point value that is used in commission qualifications. Now let's take a look at each bonus. Number 1, Fast Start. Fast Start commissions are a great way to begin earning income from the very first day. Fast Start allows all wellness advocates to earn a bonus on new customer purchases. For each customer you enroll, doTERRA will pay you 20% of the PV on anything they purchase within their first 60 days. This includes their initial order. Fast Start bonus payments are made to 3 levels of enrollers. While the direct enroller of the new member earns 20% back, the next enroller up earns 10% back. and the next enroller up from there earns 5% back. Number 2, power of 3. It works like this. If you place a 100 PV order on the Loyalty Rewards program, and 3 of your frontline achieve a minimum of 100 PV on the Loyalty Rewards program, all within a given month, and your total team volume exceeds 600, doTERRA will pay you a bonus of $50. If you then help those 3 people on your first line earn the $50 bonus, then you will receive a $250 bonus. Now, if you help their teams also achieve the same $50, giving your first line each the $250 bonus, your bonus will increase to $1,500. Note that your team volume is the total combined PV of you and your entire frontline. Here's another graphic to explain. You earn $50 for your first level, $250 for your second level, and $1,500 for your third level. Number 3, Unilevel. doTERRA's main bonus is called the Unilevel Organizational Bonus. It is the most generous and unique plan available. After 60 days, all accounts are placed in a Unilevel system, and you earn an increasing rate of commission on each level down through 7 levels based on order volume. You will earn 2% on the first level and continue to earn more throughout up until the 7th level, where you earn 7%. Most other compensation plans start you out on a higher percentage rate at the beginning, and as levels deepen, you earn a lower percentage, meaning, overall, less income for you. Unlike many other compensation plans, with doTERRA, you actually make the most on the most and the least on the least. Number 4, bonus pools. Bonus pool shares are available monthly to those who rank Premier and above. Each bonus pool is made up of a percentage of the global commissionable volume for the payout month. This means that each month, the total from each bonus pools is split into equal shares, which are then paid to qualified wellness advocates. The amount that you can earn from these pools depends on the rank that you achieve in a given month. To summarize, there are 5 basic ways to generate income with doTERRA: retail profit, fast start, power of 3, Unilevel, and bonus pools. You can start earning immediately and on a weekly basis when embracing the fast start bonus. Unilevel commissions are paid out 7 levels, increasing your percentage earned the deeper you go. Dynamic compression ensures that every order pays out on 7 levels to the first qualifying uplines. Building a residual income with doTERRA is helped by a 65% customer retention rate, far exceeding the direct sales industry average. This means that once you build your business, it makes it more feasible to both maintain and grow. doTERRA's mission is to empower every individual. Our compensation plan truly rewards people with products that they want and need in their everyday life. Our mission is to change the world, one drop, one person, one community at a time.
I love that video, and it's an awesome resource, right? That just came out, and it's on doTERRA's business page on YouTube. But I love that because we've been explaining the comp plan for how long, and these videos do so much of a better job in nailing that, right? So use resources like this, and I love that we have these resources right now because we need them more now than ever. And you can teach something that would normally take you, 30 minutes to teach, an hour to teach, in 4 minutes because of the graphics and the visuals, right? So great insight right into the comp plan. So now we're going to go back to our elite planner. Now that you have a good understanding and a baseline of the compensation plan, and Andy, at first I was really resistant to a compensation plan, but I look back now and I'm so grateful for this structure that a compensation plan creates. And it's just so helpful. So, so this is your elite planner. And, you've chosen your date where you're going to go elite by. And then when you get this, you're going to fill that in and you're clear on why you do this, right? That's so important to drive your action every day. We have found that the key attribute that you need to have at this level is literally courage, because so many of us are doing something new that maybe we've never done before, or you're reaching out to someone that you haven't, reached out to before. So keeping that courage just burning bright. And so often that comes from remembering your real purpose and why you are doing this, right? For us, we heard about this crazy vision of a healer in every home. And that's why we do doTERRA, because it helped us become more of the healers in our home. And we believe in a world where there can be a healer in every home. And doTERRA is just the best vehicle to do that and inspire that and empower that, right? So then clue into how you feel about that success, right? Because the more that you can dial in on how you feel about this creation, that's going to be really helpful. And then this elite planner is just giving you a guideline to help you schedule the one-on-ones that you need and dial into the classes that you want to get scheduled. It's also going to help you get clear on, hey, what am I going to do for the people that book a class, add a class, and enroll with a kit? And we'll go into that later. But this is your plan to go elite. And literally you're going to get there by getting approximately 15 enrollments at around 200 average volume. And then that's going to take you to your 3,000 plus volume to hit elite. Really simple, really powerful. So one of my favorite things is what we become as we're going for elite, and that is a solutions provider. And all success really begins with you and how you feel about it. And I just love the perspective that if we are there and we're focusing on serving and helping people find solutions, then everything seems to work out. So these are just a few key things to get your mindset right as you're diving into this. We found that mindset is 80+% of success. Mm-hmm. So you want to hone in here on you being a product of the product, right? And so it's going to give you a couple guidelines to do that. Keep using those products daily and implement your daily wellness plan that you got from the wellness consult in the Live Guide. If you haven't done that yet, now's the time to do that with your enroller. And then be your own solutions finder in your life, right? Mm-hmm. Learn how to use the resources so that you can, hey, something new came up for us. This is what we're working on now. You know how to use a reference guide or app to find solutions for your home, and you just keep implementing that. And then you're dialing in on these questions. Wow, how's doTERRA continually improving the quality of my life? And as you are a product of the product, then you're going to move forward to share the products, right? Thinking about the difference that you can make with a book and a box of oils, right? What can we do with an oil reference guide and a box of oils? Like, boy, it can change
the world.
It can. We're seeing so much freedom and so many solutions flow to people, and that's powerful. And then you're literally going to teach your builders to do the same thing, right? To be a product of the product and share the products. And that's just multiplying and magnifying everything you do. And you don't have to do that in some canned way, right? I don't need to be anybody that I'm not. I just need to bring my unique gifts and strengths to the table. And that's going to take my message to the people that I'm meant to lead. And how powerful is that? How many of you are excited to lead and run with in doTERRA the people that you're meant to lead, right? So powerful. Yeah, Evan, that's what you're doing.
And I truly believe that the way you're going to find those people is through your strengths. So trying to read other people's scripts is not going to give you access to your greatest brilliance, mm-hmm. right? To your inner genius. So I love how Eddie Villa hit on that in leadership. Like, the more we can customize our message to our strengths, the more powerfully we can stand on that platform and attract our tribe.
It's so true. So take the time to develop you, right? To become you and who you really are. That might be dialing in on your strengths. However you're going to do your personal development, you are dialing in on that. Because again, mindset's 80%, and you've got to invest that time to make those mindset shifts, right? That doesn't happen without that intention. So dial into your strengths. doTERRA has some amazing videos on strengths. You can find them on the doTERRA website, but it'll help you take your own strengths. If you haven't taken that test, you know, you can save this for later, but we say, boy, if you can dial in and get clear on your strengths right now, then doTERRA has videos that you can use your Gallup Strengths Finder 2.0 results to know how to use your strengths in your business and leverage that. So that's some great resources. This is literally a getting started checklist that's going to help you do some of the detailed things that need to happen to get your business started right. And also make sure that you get those personal development books that we were just talking about. For your first 2 books launching, we recommend Being the Starfish, written by a doTERRA Blue Diamond, Neil Anderson. Incredible message about being a solutions provider and what that looks like and making a difference that way. And then also Making the First Circle Work by Randy Gage. Both powerful books to dial in as you start. But these are going to be some key things, Andy. Have you ever spoken to somebody that didn't understand that they needed to have an LRP order template in place?
So painful. Yes, I have.
It is. It's so painful, right? This is so imperative. Always have an 100+ PV LRP order template in place so that you can get paid fast starts every week. Let's say you had a baby and you're not enrolling people right now, but the people that you enrolled are enrolling people. Well, you're going to get paid fast starts out on that. And we want to make sure that your template, your LRP template, is over 100 PV so that you're always qualifying for all of that fast start. Okay? So that is key. Thank you for just these little detailed reminders so you can focus in on the people, right? So this number 2 is going to help you get the support and training that you need. Andy, there was some ninja tricks from Matt Hall on setting up your personal website, your doTERRA website.
Yeah, he really did a great job of just thinking through from the user's perspective, someone who's never joined a network marketing company or, you know, thought through all of the things. He changed his profile on his replicated website through doTERRA.com with all the instructions you would need. And he just kind of went through, he even created a YouTube video and linked out to that. So just think like the average person is used to buying on Amazon, if at all, online, right? Mm-hmm. So 2 clicks and they're done. doTERRA's enrollment process is a little bit different. So make sure that you hold people's hands and you can do that through your website.
So if you're interested in dialing into that, it's on Matt Hall's YouTube channel, and you can watch a little video on how to do that. He gives you some samples. So number 2 is going to all be about, hey, have you got the foundation that you need? You know, do you have these basic pieces so that you can then pass those on? And then do you have your weekly strategy session set up with your mentor? Do you have your upline support? And then, of course, making sure you've got what you need on hand. Right now, with what doTERRA's got, we feel great about a class in a box because that's going to give you the 10 wild oranges. It's going to give you the live guides that you need, the natural solutions class handouts that you need, and a share and a build. And just recommending that you add an additional 10 pack of live and build guides. And those are going to be more needed the more that we actually see each other person to person. So that's what we recommend to get equipped where we are today. And number 4 is super key, to schedule those dedicated weekly business hours, right? So important to do from the get-go. Doing is everything, but right here you're deciding what to do, and that is the first step to make that magic happen, right? And I love, if I just time map that, even if you're time block that, right? I'm getting 3 hours in the mornings while my kids are on school, and I've got that time dedicated. You are going to be set up for success because of that commitment and holding to it. So if you enrolled for, if you registered for this class ahead of time, this training, then you're going to receive a launch guide to download sometime as soon as we get it completed, we will send it your way. And we want you, because this process is so brilliant. If you didn't get a chance to register, Ange, will you drop in the chat the registration link so they can put in their email and we can make sure you get it. We will also share that and put it in the sharesuccess.com library as soon as we have that as well, so they know where you can access it going forward. So this names list, I want you to take a step back. Names are so powerful, right? These are the connections that make all the difference. So you may have your list of 100, and this is just one way that we found really useful to organize that list and grow that list. So maybe you brainstormed 100 names. Maybe it would be good to help you just kind of funnel those names into, hey, this is my family. These are the family names from here. These are the friend names. These are the people in my community, more neighbors that are nearby me. And then maybe you have this other category, right? And this can help you even dial into, oh, I didn't even think of them, right? As you think of categories. But this will also come in handy as you do placements later on, because it helps you to kind of just start dialing them in. And you'll notice that, you know, from the launch guide from before, we've always had some ninja ways to recognize people. Elise Chedevi found out these incredible ways, and she dialed into a lot of this. And so a lot of this is great ways to identify people that are likely to be successful. This is just going to help you as you filter for your builders and who you want to build with. So basically, right here, we dial in, and it's giving you just the 1, 2, 3. So let's say Susie is your family member, and you're going to just go across this and identify which of these things. Is she female? Is she 30 to 55? Does she have a money or a need more money or more time, right? Does she have that need? Is she natural minded? Does she have business or sales experience? Is she influential? Do people do what she says? Does she move people? Does she have spouse support? And, you know, they don't need to have all of these things, but we found that these are some key things to help people succeed. What if you've written down Bob and not female, and Bob's 60 and Bob's not married? Bob could still be a great prospect. We're just giving you some guidelines that have been successful in the past, okay? So then you're gonna tally up how many marks are in these columns. So you've got a tally number right here in this tally column. So, you know, maybe that's anywhere from 0 to 7, right? That you've got here in the tally column, and that's gonna help you filter. And then status is really when you're just categorizing these contacts by maybe which path would fit them best. And this isn't, we don't want to pigeonhole anyone in this way, but if you thought about this person, would they be a great customer? You know, it's your Aunt Susie that loves natural products and she's 75. She might be a great customer. She may not be a great builder, right? And these are some questions that are going to really help you even identify this. And I love these questions. This is one of the questions that we've used throughout our business that has really helped us dial into builders. If I could do this business with anyone, who would it be? So you can ask these questions and you can identify these people of what might be the most likely path for them. Maybe they're a customer, maybe they're a sharer, maybe they're a builder. So once we've got our names list there, then we're going to prioritize it, right? And you can kind of see here from our funnel what's happening. We prepared 100 names, and now we're going to dial those in. So we have 45 to invite, okay? And then those 45 names are going to come right here to the success tracker, okay? And this process, I know for a long time I was like, hey, can we just like skip a few of these steps? This process is essential. And it takes a little bit of time. You can do this on a spreadsheet if you want. This is just a physical manifestation so you can see it all laid out. I know some people created Google Docs like this, right? And, but this is where you're going to bring this down into once we get your top prospects, right? Those with the most tally marks are going to be here on the top, right? We're placing our builder prospects at the top, but then we're going to take the rest of our top 45 and just fill that in. And then this sheet is going to help us know, hey, what's the best way to contact these people initially? How should I contact them? And let me just think about that for a minute, right? Choose that approach. And then this is just going to really help you hone in on those key actions and what is next, right? So really, we are just using this tracker to guide your actions so you can help other people progress. And this is going to help you also stay focused on those activities that are going to help you make money and make a difference, the biggest difference in their life. If you're having contacts with these people and there's no purpose to it, your life isn't going to change very much, and neither is theirs. But this has purpose and direction, and the success tracker shows you that, right? So here you've got a little more description of what we went into detail. So from this 45, then you're going to share oils and invite those 45, and then you're going to present to about 30 of those. And then even if we give a lower close rate, you would enroll about 15 of those. And that's going to take you to typically find 1 to 3 builders in that process. And again, it's not always the same. Some people are going to find 3 builders. Some people are going to find 5 builders. Some people are going to find 1. But then you'll be able to support those builders in the process and trust this process. So can you see that process, guys? Tell me in the chat if you're following the process and seeing how these prospects are just getting refined down from your names list to the success tracker. And isn't that awesome? So here's a couple resources if you need anything to add to your names list, right? These are in the Empowered Success Tools library, but both of those great tools, right? So it's going to give you more detail on that. But this is your starting point so you can filter down your list and find those that are committed and capable and those that are going to be great sharers and customers as well, right? So much fun. And this part, you know, I think it's key for us to focus in where to use our energy. And when we're first starting out with doTERRA, we might not be doTERRA ninjas, right? We might not be experts in this process. And when you rely on your upline through these experiences, it's going to be great. So let's say you have your top prospects right here, and you know how you want to reach out to them. Well, we're going to give you some great scripts brought together by lots of people in doTERRA, lots of old scripts, some new scripts, and everything all brought together so that you can see, wow, look at, I can start making this invitation, and then I can do a 3-way call with my upline, and they can add credibility, and I can enroll some of my top people. I can bring on amazing partners just by me following the principles that we learn about today, and leveraging my upline to do these 3-way calls. So we're going to go more into detail, but I love how this all comes together. So, scheduling your success. So now that we've got some names, now we need to know what to do with them.
So one of the things that I think attracts most of us to network marketing is this idea of being your own boss, right? That you can control your schedule, you can control your hours, and that's great. The downside is that whose fault is it if no work gets done, right? Like once we become our own bosses, most of us aren't very bossy with ourselves. So we end up having a lot of whatever happen rather than a really intentional, structured creation. So Nat, you want to guide us through how to best structure our time?
Well, I love this because we don't have to clock in and clock out. We're not trading hours for dollars. It's a whole different environment, right? We just want to create the most value for the most people. And then we know that the satisfaction and the meaning that comes from that and our income is going to come from that too. So right here, I love how this dials in on the core pipes activities. We get clear on that. We do that. We let go of the fluff because there's lots of fluff, right? How many people have you talked to in doTERRA that they're not getting to these key business building activities? And so number one, they're not changing lives. And number two, they're not getting to the income that they desire. So I think it's super key to see this. And so we hope you're seeing like daily personal development and then weekly. A lot of people are contacting, sampling, following up daily. Some people are doing it 3 times a week, but these pieces are going in for sure on a weekly basis, and then you decide how to do that, right? So you're contacting, sampling, and following up. That's where you're planting seeds. That's all those planting seeds actions, and this is giving you a few guidelines for that. And all of these, you'll see kind of how long that you should plan typically. And of course you could break that down to a 1-hour block, but we'll show you this weekly schedule that kind of gives you, hey, you need to have a basis of 4 hours a week at least in that process. And at least 1 intro to oils class, right? You're spending in an hour inviting to this intro to oils class that takes an hour. Sorry, let me get that right. And then inviting to a business intro or one-on-one that can take 20 plus minutes as well. So lifestyle overviews are the other things you're going to keep up with, which is just teaching people how to use their product once they get their product. And you're going to go keep learning about the oils. You're going to go to either continuing ed with your team or online from doTERRA, and you're going to promote that to the people that you share with. And then, of course, doing a team call. So you're in the know, so you're learning, so you're growing, so you're keeping that mindset sharp. And then your strategy sessions. So that's going to mean you receiving mentoring and strategy from your upline. And that's also going to mean as you bring on these builders, the strategy sessions that you do with them. So can you see those are the key pipes activities that are just happening daily, weekly, and then periodically you're going to attend and invite to special events, right? And all of that's just coming together. We want you to see during your launch month, again, we're focusing in on these key actions that we talked about in the very beginning. And this is one way to dial into this is who needs a product experience, right? Asking yourself and scheduling these. If you don't know what to do every day, I want you to come right back here to this list of questions, and it's going to give you a little response right underneath, so you're remembering, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing, right? So one of the keys we want you to remember as you schedule your success is these successful interactions are the IPing interactions. They're the inviting, presenting, and enrolling actions. Those activities should be 80+% of your time. Right now, they should maybe be even more. You've got to be doing your personal development, and you're going to be supporting builders as they come on. But you make sure you're sharing, inviting, presenting, and enrolling is the great majority of what you're doing in doTERRA. And I love that, man, if you're taking the time to do these key things and you're inspired about it so that it's really making a difference, you are fulfilled. It's not just clocking in and out, and it's really multiplying the growth. So as you bring on builders, you help them do these key things, and that's going to bring about the greatest growth in your team and in your business. Okay. This is just helping you see this overall on a week, so you can kind of see these core activities brought into a week and what that might look like. So we invited you to have your calendar nearby, just so you can start seeing this. Maybe you've chosen how many hours you want to spend in a day on doTERRA, or which days, but doTERRA already has this weekly schedule that you can download and you can fill out this way, or you can just plop these time blocking segments into your phone or whatever you're using for calendaring. And when you treat your business seriously, you're going to get serious results. I love what Seth Rismay says about that, right? Because that is the key. You've got to be able to see this. Here's a few tips as you're scheduling, right? I think we sometimes have mamas and people that have come from other fields, and we really get to be prompt in what we respond to. We need to remember that there's prep and travel time in this, but here's one key thing that I wanted you to remember is there's this ninja skill of doing all 4 classes with one jumpstart week, and this is a really incredible possibility for you. And that meaning that you could, for example, it's not shown right here, but I want to tell you about this in case some of you are overachievers and you want to try it this way. So you could literally do, maybe you plan for 2 weeks from now or 10 days from now, and you've got a Thursday night class, a Friday morning class, a Saturday morning class, and a Saturday afternoon. So you've got those 4 classes set up in less than, it's about 48 hours, right? That you're dialing those in. And sometimes when you've got those 4 classes that close together, you can minimize a lot of time. You've got your display set up in your house, and you can just leave that display, even if it's your Zoom display, right? You can give prospects, hey, does it work better for you Thursday night, Friday morning, or sometime on Saturday? This is when we have our classes, and you can give them those options. And then you also get some of the powerful momentum that comes from that. So somebody comes to the class on Thursday night, they get lit up. They think about, 5 people that could use it, and then they can invite them to Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, right? So can you see how that starts getting some momentum in place? And it just depends on where you are in your business right now, but that's a really powerful way to launch and set people up for success. And it also gives you a lot of placement options because you're getting a lot of enrollments within 48 hours. And then you can better see how to set people up for success. You know, where is this person going to grow best? And you've got a lot of options, right? So I love what you're saying online too. It's just keeping the info fresh. You know, it keeps you in your zone. So, you know, just one idea. Maybe you have 2 weeks a month and maybe you're teaming up like that. Or maybe for your launch month, you're just dialing into that one weekend and making it a really strong weekend. Okay. So Andy, preparing to share is like, well, first of all, sharing is the heart of doTERRA business. And preparing to share is key, right? Like we all want to make a difference. We all want to change the world. And how do I do that if I'm not prepared? It really takes me dialing into my story and have that prepared. So I'm prepared in whatever moment comes my way. If I'm in the line at the grocery store, if I'm out back, if I'm, you know, getting into my car and the neighbor's right there, whatever the situation is, I can take advantage of it because I've done the work to prepare that story. I've got my oils on hand so I can give somebody an oil experience wherever I'm at. I've got my keychain in my purse, or I've got my oils in my purse so I can have what I need. And then also that I've got tools. So these are some of my favorite doTERRA pre-made samples that you can easily have in your purse, right? And you can also make your own samples so that you're equipped, but then have a little guide to go with it if people are really ready to learn and go more, right? So we're gonna hit on online classes in just a little bit and dial into that, but you can choose to be prepared all the time to share. And I love how, you know, just like that comp plan video we watched, there's just growing solutions online for sharing. And we can do that right where you are today. There's no limits on that. You be selective about that. Maybe we show, doTERRA is getting some incredible videos in place. So I hope you're cluing into doTERRA's YouTube channel and catching those. Every once in a while, we just do a little doTERRA movie night because I love how those co-impact videos feel and everything, right? So I want you to, Andy, could you show them our video page so that they can see that resource? There is, we just put together a video page of some of our favorite videos. It has one by the Van Man that's on this call. Van
That's
down
right.
by the
The
river.
one and only.
Yeah.
The Bibemeister.
By the way, any of you leaders that are joining us today, feel free to raise your hand if you have something to share on a certain topic. And then you can also text us in the chat. We'd love to have your input and expertise, right? We'd love to have you weigh in. So we have some of our favorite product videos at the top, some of our favorite business and opportunity videos right here, and then some of our favorite, you know, leader profiles that just let us see into the life of a leader. So
if you haven't watched the Elena Browder one, it is brilliant. So inspiring. Jared Winger, just a classic. Like these are classics.
Yeah. So, you know, if you need a movie night, you could just make it a doTERRA movie night, right? Somebody was asking about just the doTERRA YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search for doTERRA and doTERRA Business. They both have some really great options there. Okay, so back to our guide. How you doing? Get some more oils out, right?
Hey, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
So, some people preach that sampling is the only way that everyone has to receive. So I'm just curious, like if you're with somebody at the store and you've got a sample in your pocket and they've got like a headache, would you rather give them an oil experience right then or give them a sample?
I always choose oil experience, no question. Why? Because these crazy things called essential oils, right? That if people don't have access to or experience with, it might be a little crazy for them. I love what Pamela's saying. She's saying do both. Get some oils on them right then, and then help them get a sample and go home with a sample as well. That's even better. I just think if you have a choice, get the oil on them in that moment. And Pam, let's hear you. Come on and speak to that for a moment. The power of sharing. We're just getting into this. We'll bring her on here in a minute. But samples are so powerful because they can take them home. I saw someone asking in the chat, what if they're allergic? Well, what's so powerful about CPTG essential oils is that you really have pure, potent essential oils that they're made from nature. Your body is working with that nature. And so if people have been allergic to lavender in the past or allergic to peppermint, they were allergic to what else was in that peppermint. And when they try doTERRA, they're going to have an amazing experience. If some people have higher levels of toxicity, and so they're getting a response, then, you know, some kind of allergic response, then we need to cleanse the body more. So stop using that oil, get some more lemon and water, and then let's try again after we cleanse the body a little bit. Pam, thanks for joining us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. So exciting to have all of you on here. So sampling was very tricky for me in the beginning because I felt like I was being a little bit invasive at times. And I think it's a very common thing to feel until I actually worked on my belief around how I could serve people. So for me in the beginning was like, ooh, I'm being a little invasive. Now the feeling I have, I worked around my belief and I feel I can help this person. And I know even if they feel that way, they will thank me later. And every single time, that's what happens. You serve them, you give them these oils, and at the end of it, they'll come to you and they'll say, thank you for pushing me. Thank you for putting this on my hands, even though I feel a little weird, and I've heard this so many times. I could not live without these oils today.
Wow. You know, that stretch, some people say it's the stretch that makes you free, right? So by giving an oil experience, by giving a sample, by helping them put that on, whatever it takes, like we're stretching them. It's out of our comfort zone. It's out of their comfort zone, but what it brings about is so worth it. Can you guys hear in Pam's voice? Is she there? Is she there just to sell an oil? Is she there just to make a sale? Or is she there to serve and to be a solutions provider? Like,
you become a massive solutions provider. Right? So that's what we do. And another thing that I had to also work around was the belief, the same thing with the business. We always think oils, 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 and then you feel a little bit scared about being invasive with the business also. And I'm in the process still, and it's always going to be a process, right? We evolve as we grow within what we do. But right now, I feel completely comfortable talking about the business, is inviting people to come with me and run with me, because I know how much this business has blessed my life. So why would I not share this with others, right? And the ones that say no, it's okay. And the ones that say yes, you embrace them and you run together. And that's what I'm doing right now with my group of customers, which is very uncomfortable for me to do. But I did a live and I said to them, this might bother you. And if it does, I want you to look at why it bothers you, because I have something that I want to share with you that has blessed me. And it might be the answers for someone's prayer. Might not be you, but might be somebody that you know. And that's how I've been approaching it.
wow. Wow. Friends, Pam, you didn't get here overnight, right? You launched your business how long ago?
I first started about almost 7 years ago. And
Mhm.
then I was a customer for the longest time. I wasn't a builder. And that was, and now I know that I wasn't a builder in the beginning. So it took me a good 2 years for me to decide I'm going to go all in. I'm going to say yes to myself, and I'm going to say yes to this. And I'm going to serve as many people as I can. So it took me good, I would say. I'm still learning, right? We're still in the process of it. It never ends. So it's been about 5 years that I've been full on all in, trying to get to this space of feeling completely confident on how I'm serving people and how I'm serving my own purpose in the world. And these oils have been the main vehicle and the main tool for me to do that.
So in 5 years, and now you've been a solutions provider and helped other people learn how to do that, to the point that you are at the rank of Blue Diamond, and you have freedom on some really serious levels. And how many other people have you been able to share that freedom with?
Right. So we have a beautiful team of wonderful women, and I attract mothers because I'm a mom, and I started this business when I was 6 months pregnant. So because of that, and usually you will attract what you are. So I've attracted the people that have been able to be in the same space as I am as a mom. And it's a little bit trickier, right? When you have babies and you're pregnant, but at the same time, if you use that for advantage, that can be a great thing, because you can do that and show others that you can do that, and they're in the same space, in the same level as you, right? So you can do it together. But also what I have been able to do, and the reason why I'm so in love with this Founders 2.0 is because I was able to become a founder in Brazil. I'm from Brazil, and what it's given me, it's something that I've always wished for, which was a bridge between my world in the United States and my world in Brazil. So it is infinite. If you really think and look at this, it is limitless, right? So the people that I've been working with right now are wonderful mothers and friends. And that's another cool thing about when you do this, these people are your friends for life. So you have a family outside of your own blood family that will be with you for the rest of your life.
Isn't it crazy? Like, you didn't realize that in the beginning, but it's such a powerful connection that, wow, gives you so much strength.
So much. It's amazing. So make sure that the people you're building with are people that you truly want to be in contact all the time.
Yeah, you choose wisely, right? Because you're going to have so much joy with the people, and we'll dial into the partners that you're choosing to work with. But it's so fun just to get to the heart of this sharing. Pam, maybe you could stay with us a little bit and add to this next section. And again, because we're going to go into the heart of sharing, and this is the key to doTERRA success. If you figure out sharing, everything else will flow. I promise you. So, we've talked about the ways to prepare. Here's a little outline to dial in your product story and your business story. So, Andy, have we made like hundreds of this version? Like, these are just the most powerful questions to get you right to the heart of it, so that you've got that and you can bring it. And then you've got this little 2 to 5 minute, you can expand this story, but your story, stories change people.
Yeah. I love how stories really give people a chance to connect and to relate to us. It's really through the vulnerable parts of our story that people say, oh yeah, I can see myself in them, and I can relate, and maybe give these crazy little brown bottles a chance, right? Like that's part of the purpose of telling the story, is it opens doors. And the same thing applies to the business. A lot of people are skeptical about sales or network marketing, but if we can tell our story, all of a sudden that opens a door.
So get clear on your story. I have some people that think that, well, I have to have like this miracle oil story and miracle LLV story and a miracle business story. I got to be making 10 grand a month to be sharing my story. And it's just not true. Your story is your story. So make sure you own that and you take the time to dial this in, okay? So this launch guide is gonna be a little, this is a training system for you that if you can just dial into it and invest into it and refine your pieces, it'll make all the difference. So take a little time here as you get your launch guide, and it will pay off in spades. You will receive back so much. I want you to also remember that through this, you can share other people's story as well. It doesn't have to just be your story, right? You've heard somebody else's story. That story can still have power. But make sure and dial in the stories that you share to the people that you're sharing it with. Like, if I'm talking to a mama with 3 kids, I'm going to go back to one of my mama oil stories, and I'm going to find a way to connect, because connecting is so important. And here we are, we're getting into the sharing and inviting portion of the pipes, right? Connecting and sharing. And this is so interesting. Andy, we were in massive growth mode in 2017 and amazing growth, right? That was the year that all the presidentials voted in Share Success. It became Empowered Success. We had a 26-page launch guide that we passed over to doTERRA, and some people on that committee wanted it to be 5 pages. And we literally said, hey, that's crazy. People have to have enough meat so that they know really how to build the business, right? And you have to be in a place where you don't have to call every single moment, that you've got enough direction. And it also needs to be simple. So we dialed the launch guide down to 16 pages, but in that process, we lost some really key things. And we chose to please people and that committee and thought, hey, this is going to work out. Well, it turns out there were some really big holes. And one of the biggest holes were just these scripts on connecting. And we felt like, hey, people don't need to be told what to say. But really, in the very beginning of doTERRA, it's really good if you have some exactness. Does that mean that you need to be me or Pamela or anyone else? No. But having something to get comfortable, to know what the content is, to get natural with it so you can make it your own, that is brilliant. And learning from all the people that have been doing this for a decade, right? How do you do that, right? So this section is going to just talk about how we plant the seeds that we plant in doTERRA. And the first step is connecting to discover. So that really means you connect with someone else so you can discover their needs. Like, Andy Goddard, I want to know your needs so I can be a solutions provider. I've got to connect and I've got to do some discovery to figure that out and to really be able to create massive value when I share, right? So these are some incredible scripts to help you do that. In this first section is in an established relationship. In the second section, it's kind of like, hey, this might be a complete stranger. This might be somebody that I haven't talked to in a while. It's somebody that I need to earn the right to share with. Then this gives me a little bit more background to earn the right. And do you have to use all of this? No. You can use whatever segments work in that situation, but dial into this, practice this so that you can really know how to connect and discover. Because until we do that, we really can't create experiences or share. And that's
share.
Yes, please.
Share one thing that I've been doing, and it might be helpful. Yes. I've been sharing with people, with business owners here in the United States and Brazil, because right now a lot of these businesses are suffering because they don't have revenue. So, and one thing that I have really meditated around is to be honorable in their efforts to build their businesses, right? So when I come and talk about the oils, first I want to serve them. And then I talk about how they could implement these oils when things go back to normal, which we don't know when, right? And we know there will be a recession from this. So, and I know that this can be a perfect tool for these business owners to be able to hang on to and not necessarily give up their dreams of what they have built, but to meet them where they're at and put the oils in conjunction with what they're doing. So this has been, I've had really good responses from people, and just to be very aware of how you're offering this, and you're not asking them to give up their own dreams, right? You're just adding on a tool that I believe will be for the long run after all this is back to normal.
I think that's really important to remember, because some of us get so into doTERRA that we're like, hey, I'm just looking for a doTERRA junkie to go all the way with. And so many people, it can just be that other stream of income, and they can use it right now to be able to survive when they can't have their restaurant open or whatever it may be. And they can bless people in this way, and it can just be a vehicle. It doesn't have to be everything for everyone. Love that. Love that.
So just an extra $497 a month. I just heard this and I couldn't believe it. Could have saved over half of the bankruptcies declared in 2018.
Wow.
What's $500, right? Like, you can do that with doTERRA if you really focus. Quite easy.
That's a huge change in the world, right? Like, huge, right? If you can stop a bankruptcy, how much would that change somebody's life? That's huge. So flipping back, you guys, this is the part where we are creating experiences. We are giving a sample. We're getting oil on their hands. We're helping them get a swipe, whatever that may be, right? And that starts out with inviting them to try it, right? Then sampling it, setting expectations, and then giving them some extra instructions on how to use. And these are just 4 elements of that process. And it's not complicated, but this is something that if you will just practice this is something we challenge you. Hey, whoever, maybe you practice this with your upline. You're like, okay, this week we're going to practice the scripts on this page and this process. This is so important. If we were here in a live training, we'd be like, okay, break, everybody practice this, right? And this is such a key part for you to dial into. But what I love is that you can use these phrases in a number of ways, right? Like, you can use this right now on sharing a video that you love. If I were to send access to this video, will you watch it? You know, and you share that with them. So keys to go through to create experiences right here. Any questions so far? I love the Portuguese in the chat. Oh, and Joy's ready?
No.
Okay. Okay, great. So, any questions in the chat? Oh, Pam, they want to hear your repeat on how you talk to businesses right now.
I'm going to put on the chat the bankruptcy thing that I learned. So the way I talk to businesses, for example, there is a person that I just spoke to right before this training. She posted on her page, she makes skin products, and I know a little bit about her, so I put it on her post. I said, is this natural? And that was and I put, I love it. I love your picture, because she put a picture of herself and she looks really pretty. So I said, I love your picture. Is this natural? She was talking about a skin product that she created. And then she replied, yes, it's natural. And when she said that, I went in and I said, if you're using essential oils, remember, I can help you. And I want to learn more about your product. So then she private messaged me. And so she has a little store, and she hasn't been able to sell out of the store. So then we started a chat, and I said, how about we try to take a look at maybe implementing these oils in what you're doing? And she was like, I'm totally open. So that's one way of talking to them and always meeting them where they're at. So it's not, again, invasive. So my thing is always, I don't think anybody likes to be invasive, but some people have, sometimes they're not uncomfortable doing that. But for me, I'm still working around the ways that I talk to people so they can respond to me. And that's something that I just learned about myself through, if you haven't done the human design, that was from Melissa and Evan Esguerra and Joy. And I'm having people do that so I understand how I respond best. So again, learning about yourself, how you can communicate is the best way for you to learn how to communicate to others. So for me, I respond best when people are very comfortable. And some people feel like if they put a little bit of pressure, they're okay too. But for me, no. So always remembering to meet where they're at and adding on the oils so it can help their current situation, their current business. That is the idea. So I've talked to flower shops and gift stores. There are gyms. I'm talking to a lot of gyms right now, especially in Brazil. A lot of gyms are suffering right now. And I think it will be a very different scenario once people can go back to their normal lives. So the market has changed. So that will be, my intention is to serve them with the oil so they can have some tools for their emotional health, because this is hard, right? The time that we're going through is tough. But also knowing that in the end, this will be the tool that they can use that might be their main business eventually. So my intention is to serve them, and then eventually, why not? They have something in their back pocket. So it's a pretty good way to, it's a good safety net, right? To fall into.
I love that. And these business owners, they think about things as a business, right? And they're more likely to engage as a business. So what a great time and what a great angle, Pam. Thanks for bringing it. We just have incredible leaders with us today, and incredible leaders that we've been blessed to do this journey with. So I know that this next section is super key, is once we've shared the oils and shared the experience, then how do we follow up on that, right? Have any of you had experience where people didn't try a sample? How about they didn't have any results? Like, when these things happen, this is going to help you know what to do or what to say, right? Any input from our panelists on this? Any experience there? This is
I'll talk about the sampling thing a little bit. I think that it's like one of the most important pieces. And I think when people are getting started, it does require a lot more effort. You know, when you're first teaching classes and you're first inviting, it's a lot of work to really properly sample people. It takes time, it takes energy. I remember when I was first starting, I was just hunkered down, like calling and driving and having people pick up. And, you know, I was doing Diamond Club, and I had Karina coming to Hawaii for us to do a bunch of classes. But I was really wanting to do well because she was coming to support. And that 2-week period of just hitting it super hard and showing up for people and reaching out to them in multiple different ways and being patient and allowing them to come to me, after reaching out, and just, it's a whole thing, right? To like get these samples to people. But when you get the samples to people, they come to the classes ready to learn and excited to learn. And they really want to get some oils by the end of the class. And I've noticed when I work with people, when I launch people who don't take the time to get the samples to people, the classes often fall flat. Or it's some people enroll, but it's not nearly the same as if somebody had a really powerful oil experience. So those 2 weeks that I took before that series of classes, I think we taught, 5 classes or 7 classes in 5 days, and we enrolled like 40 people, and that for me, just getting started, that was such a huge confidence builder, you know, to be able to like, wow, that really worked, you know? So I just want to encourage anyone who's just getting started right now to just really take that part of it seriously, and remember to you're serving, just come from a place of service. When you feel nervous about reaching out to people, remember that you have something that is really gonna change their lives. And so if you can drop into that place of feeling in yourself when you're like, I remember finding myself getting like, oh, really like, you know, worried about what people would think of me in the beginning. But just remember that this, you know, this will change others' lives just the way that it has yours. So.
Wow. I love that, because, you know, you're talking about the contrast of what you see when people will take the time to put it into this, right? Like, how many wasted classes happen with nobody showing up, or just few key people when there could have been so many more if we would have just taken the time.
Right, exactly. And this is an opportunity not only for like, it's your opportunity to build your own confidence right now. Mm-hmm. So if you can like learn from what others have done ahead of you, and just even if you feel resistance to it, just like you guys were saying, the courage, like employ all your courage and just do it anyway, even though it's uncomfortable, you're gonna have such much more valuable and tremendous results, and the confidence that's created will allow you to continue that momentum that Karina was mentioning, that is so valuable as you're getting started, and as you're helping others to get started as well.
So powerful. So if it's about, hey, do I schedule one more class, or do I sample more people? Focus on the sample, have less classes, and bring them into that class, right?
Yeah, and then, you know, the other thing is with the sampling, have your oils on you always. You know, we hear that all the time, but there were so many times, there are still so many times where I give people samples, and even with people who maybe have fallen through the cracks a little bit, you know, like I gave them a sample, and maybe I like, you know, we try to do our best to follow up really well, but like there have been instances where I gave somebody some samples 6 months to a year ago, and they come back to me and they say, I want to get some of those oils now. You know, so if you're constantly sampling people, constantly sharing with people, constantly giving them an experience, you're gonna have a funnel of interested people who want to learn more that you can continue to invite. And that's such a key piece, you know.
Love that. The funnel just happens when we show up and we care. I love what, and by the way, Joy, amazing Blue Diamond creator as well.
Rockstar.
So powerful. Thanks for bringing your insights, girls. Just adds so much. I love what Pam was also saying in the chat about keeping it simple. And that's one of the things you'll find in the guide is just, you know, some people recommend one sample. I recommend 2. And that's what we recommend in the guide, because sometimes you'll have something that, you know, every body is different, right? Every body is going to react to the oils differently, right? Because we're all unique. And these oils are natural. They're working with your body to create results. Well, so if they have 2 samples and one doesn't quite create what we wanted to, they have the other sample right there. And they, you know, we're just more likely to have a great experience. And you're wanting to share samples for quick wins, right? If they have had chronic pain, or they have an autoimmune disorder that's lasted for all this time, like that's not going to be the first sample that we share. We're going to address some of the impact of that. Like maybe their shoulders are sore, and maybe they need, you know, 2 different samples we're talking about. So maybe they have
for the same issue or for different issues?
For different issues typically, okay. Right? So maybe we want to hit like the shoulder, it's being sore, and their child has this issue. So we're going to go 2 different directions to kind of hedge our bets a little bit more and set them up for success, right? We really want to set them up for success. And that's why some of the, you know, the things that we went into over here is so important, right? The effects of essential oils are not the same for every person. It's about finding a fit. And when we've found what's right for you, you'll have found a safer, natural, cost-effective way to help with your sore shoulders, you know, whatever it may be, right? So you've got these scripting to help you out with that. So I want to honor Elise Chedevy. A lot of these scripts came from her and some of the people that have helped her put those together, all together with the best of Share Success and other input from leaders around. So you've got really amazing scripts here. And, you know, if somebody doesn't have a positive experience, then we're literally saying, hey, let's dial in to what works best for you. Let's try something else for that, right? But always use your reference guide so you're using the best solutions for the most amount of people. I open up the reference guide and I usually use what's in the first or second spot to share that as a sample, okay? So that you know you're just set up for success. It's not the one that, oh, I use that all the time. That's probably got to work for them. And if they didn't try it, you got to inspire. So that might be a time when you're pulling out your story again or helping them telling them about the results that you've had and you've seen. So those things are super key. We've got my sister on the line. I am so grateful that we get to do this business with amazing people. It's been super gratifying to do with people that I didn't know, and even more gratifying to do with my sister. Roxy, Presidential Diamond, what do you have to share about what we're talking about?
Well, I too want to honor, you know, Elise Chedevy and those who've been involved in these awesome scripts. I know you guys have great scripts, and I personally am one of those people who really likes my communication to be really good. Communication is number one on my top strengths, so I get all paranoid if it's not. So I love the scripts because even if I don't use exactly what's there, it gives me a foundation and then I can evolve. You know, and I just sent during this training, I was sitting here and I had like a thought, like, you need to text so-and-so, you know? And so I was like, okay, well, I'm trying to focus on this training, but then I thought, well, I'll just kind of like get it in my phone so that it happens, you know? And then the message came again, like, send the message, you know? I was like, all right. So sometimes it's a text, sometimes it's not, you know, but definitely. And I sat for just a second and like had a prayer, you know, and in my mind of like, okay, please help them receive this with the right, you know, intention. And in the end, like whatever happens, like I just know that I did my part because I got that message, you know. And the Goddards are amazing examples of just kind of moving through this sharing process in an inspired way as much as you possibly can. And that means, yes, you're going to have to move and kind of force some of it to happen. Like Joy said, it's not like all of it's going to, you know, come while you're sitting on the couch eating bonbons, right? But so having your list and then reaching out to the ones that you feel the most urgent need first. But I love that the Goddards, they follow that inspired piece. And when you do that, I feel like your sharing is going to be make a big impact. But don't give up on people. You know, like Joy said and Pam said, and I loved Karina's comments earlier too, but you know, I've had people have sampled so many times, or like they had a really awesome success. I have a diamond that actually on her team who is amazing, and her name's Emily Martin, and she and I probably remember the story slightly differently, right? Because everybody's perspective is different. But I feel like it took forever for her to like say, these oils work, you know, and she even had like a really cool experience where she used the oils and it helped her daughter feel better. But in the moment, I thought it was that, right? She's like, I think she was already getting better. I was like, dang. and it took a long time for her to like fully go, I really like these and I want to share them, you know? So that process, it looks different. And once again, just try and kind of flow with that inspired thought of like where they can be, and don't lose hope, and just keep it up. It's not if they'll do it, it's when, so at some point they will, right?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So that process of sharing, it doesn't always happen in one touch. In fact, most of the time, it might be closer to 7 touches. But as you reach out with that love, like Roxanne was just bringing it, again and again and again with Emily Martin. And today, Emily is a diamond. And it's changed her life and her family, doTERRA has, in such a significant way. So I bet Emily is super grateful that you kept on bringing it and didn't stop at touch number 1, right? What a gift.
Well, I'm grateful to her that she kept bringing it too. So it's a dance, right? Love that. So thank you.
It's fun to partner together, and it just, man, it's amazing what happens when we do that. So we're so excited for you and the beginning of your doTERRA journey. As we really, this part on sharing, we really want to bring in. And so I want to share with you a video of that just always helps me remember. So maybe the thing about sharing is you can't always see the results of what you did that day, right? Like it's not happening on the first touch. It's not happening on the second touch. And sometimes it's easy to lose sight of the harvest, right? But sharing is really planting seeds. So I love this video where Tiffany Peterson brings it about the law of the harvest. So take this in for a minute.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Peterson, and I want to share with you today what I call the law of the harvest. Years ago, when I was in sales and just getting started on that path, and I was new to it, and I had nerves and doubts and fears, like many of you, I assume, as you're starting anything new or a new path or a new business. And I was introduced to that phrase that the harvest cannot be prevented. And I don't know about you, but as we're working through life, I really love the concept of a garden, right? Is that there's a certain law of the universe that what we plant and nourish must bring forward its like fruit. And so when you think about for yourself, there are times where it's really easy to get discouraged. I've been there myself, where you're putting in the effort, you're nourishing that garden, you're out there watering it, weeding it, and maybe you're not seeing the results as quickly as you would like. But there's these amazing laws at play in the universe that if you stick with something, you will meet with success. See, there's this phrase that I love to teach that says this: persistence trumps talent. There will always be a harvest that comes every year, every fall, without fail, if we are faithful and consistent to do our part to nourish that garden. Now, for some of you, you might be in what I call the July of your life right now.
Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. I touched the screen. So let's take you back to it.
It started in May, so to speak, symbolically, started planting that garden. You were all excited, bought new overalls, new gardening tools, got out there, planted those seeds, and it was fun, right? Right out of the gate. And then a few weeks goes by, and a month goes by, or 2 months goes by, and maybe there's some sprouts coming through, or maybe there's been 1 or 2 little things, but there isn't this full crop of results that you're watching, and it seems like everyone else has but you. That's your July. You're now hot, you're sweaty, you're tired. Maybe your partner who joined in that garden with you in the beginning is nowhere to be found any longer. It's up to you. I promise you, if you push through that July, in other words, that adversity and that struggle and that challenge, you will meet with success because your harvest cannot be prevented. Be more concerned about being true to your dreams than your dreams coming true. Say that again. You be loyal. There's loyalty pays great dividends. Be true to your dreams, and your dreams will be true to you. The harvest can never be prevented. That universal law is in play for all of us. So I invite you to choose to be persistent, Choose to continue to nourish your dreams, and you also will meet with success.
Wow. Wow. What stood out to you from that video? I want to hear, because that to me is like so powerful about that we are just here to take care of that and be true to our dreams, be true to what we're creating, and that will pay great rewards. Yeah, it's great. That's a great reminder video. If you need to watch that any day, pop onto that page again. Yeah, that's on that.
sharesuccess.com/videos.
Mm-hmm.
Persistence trumps talent.
Every time.
Yep.
And I think it's so important that we don't make judgment calls based on what we see. And, you know, the harvest that we see today. I had someone, I think she launched about 6 months ago, and she was expecting to go elite her very first month. And I think it took her 2 months. And then she expected to go premier the very next month, and it just wasn't quite that. And what has been interesting is that it took a little bit longer for her to get going. Like, she didn't find the right partners right away, but she is set up to be solid silver today. And so just trusting that process, that the harvest is coming, and I am going to continue with that same sharing, that same connecting, and that will pay off. The harvest cannot be prevented. And what I love about doTERRA is the true harvest that it is, you know?
There's a Jewish saying that says, as my fathers planted for me, so I plant for my children. And I get chills every time I think about that phrase, because, you know, we've all been blessed with these precious gifts of the earth, right? Like, somebody took the time to plant, and those are our fathers. And so almost like, just out of this sense of duty to keep paying it forward,
Mm-hmm.
like, we should keep planting for our children. So it's just a great reminder that those who have the greatest vision are always in the business of planting trees.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep planting trees.
I love that. I love what Lourdes said. Lou is saying she's a diamond down in Mexico. Blue now. Wow. It all comes to planting many seeds too. And, you know, the more seeds you plant, the more they will come back. And we don't know exactly when, but they will, right? I love that. Rich, great insight. Work through July is the key, right? To remember that August and the harvest is coming, especially right now in the season that we're in. It's a little bit crazy circumstances, but it's actually a really powerful time to share and connect. How many people are awake to their health needs, to their needs, even for an additional income? How many people don't want to get in the car on Monday morning and actually go to work, right? How many people just started working from home and are like, please, please let me work from home. I'll do anything, you know, because they actually love it once it's shifted to be that. So this is an incredible time. I hope you will keep sharing during this time and take advantage of this season, because you've got an incredible gift to share. Andy, this also reminds me of just that whole metaphor of, you know, in doTERRA, you can succeed as a business owner. You can come in and you can just treat this like a business, and you take it seriously. You know, you got one option. You treat it like a hobby, and you're going to get hobby results, right? You take it seriously, and you're going to get serious results, right? There's another option, that you can be more than just a business owner. You can be a steward. And I love that gardener, because he reminds me of just the steward, right? Like, he didn't just go back inside because it was July and he was a little hot. He stuck with the garden. He stayed with it, no matter what. And I think that makes all the difference. So as stewards, we have not just like an inward mindset, okay, what's my check going to be? You know, how am I going to advance? But we have an outward mindset. We think about others. We think about what's best for them. And we are taken care of in the process. It all flows back to us, right? That's the magic. And it's also, you know, we're focused on helping others. And then it all comes back to us.
Amen.
Yeah. Love it. Any of you leaders that are on and you have something to add or share, please raise your hand. We would love it. We're rolling right into the rest of sharing. So, let's see. So once we've shared, then we have a foundation, right? Then they have this desire and they want to learn more. And so in doTERRA, there's lots of ways to learn more. Right now, we're using a lot of online ways to learn more. But this is when you invite to learn more. See how you created the need, you woke them up a little bit more, and now you're just inviting to a class, a one-on-one, a business intro, to watch an online video, you know, to even take a look at, you know, where they're at with their lifestyle. And you want to do, I love some of these keys about helping people say yes, right? Andy, I learned early on in this business that when you assume the sale, when you are confident yourself and you bring that confidence and you're interested in that person and you care about them sincerely, then things start lining up, right?
Totally. Well, the first thing that people are actually buying is your certainty. So when you invite them to a class, they don't have any idea whether the oils are going to work. If, you know, when they start doing the business, they don't know if they're going to get business results. So when they first come to a class, when they first enroll in doTERRA, when they start building, the only thing they're buying is your certainty. So that's a big part of assuming the sale is just like coming to every conversation. And what I found is whoever has the most certainty in any conversation wins. So that's where we get to bring our belief in the product, and not in a pushy way, but just in a certain way. Like that, I see you do this over and over and over again, and it moves people. Like when you bring so much loving certainty to the conversation, like they open the bottles, they try them out, they try the business, they learn to hope and dream again. So certainty matters.
And it's so needed, boy. This is a choice that you make within you. And this is one way that I use my certainty, right? I come to someone that maybe has never gone to a class and we've shared that oil, we've connected in that way. And then I can ask something like, wow, you know, I'm teaching a class this Thursday night. And, you know, what we learn in an hour together took me 3 years to learn. So I think you would be so benefited by investing that hour so that you can know how to be a healer in your home, so that you can know how to find solutions to your son's And I'm going to give that invitation that way, right? How likely is she to show up at that class? She's likely, because my clarity, my certainty, I invited with that power. I'm letting her know, wow, how much value she's going to get from that class. And I'm also, you know, I might even let her know, hey, we're going to dial into one of your son's issues. I'm going to teach you how to use an app or a book to dial into that. And then you're going to be able to leave that class and know what to do and have the tools to do it. So again, super powerful opportunities to bring your certainty. So, you know, friends, we also have been working with people that, like, have you ever had had a doubt about a product. We were working with someone that they were using the Lifelong Vitality and they just hadn't seen the results that we always talked about. And so it was such a great opportunity for us to dig deep and be like, okay, we got to dial into this so you can have a positive experience. Because if you don't have certainty about Lifelong Vitality, how well are you going to be able to share it? So I love one thing that we haven't hit on yet is what we call belief levels, right? And so if you have any breakdown in your product belief, you want to go and take care of that. You want to get that use that we talked about in the beginning. But we want to dial in. This is my favorite video of you, Andy. Your hair is
just
so
I have
sexy.
The best hair on the planet.
It's amazing, right? So this video about the belief levels is going to give you a foundation of what this process, we say there's a comp plan, right? But we found that there was this pattern that when you had a certain belief, you would advance to that level, and it's real.
As we've coached with hundreds of our team members, we found that there's a direct relationship between your belief level and your ability to achieve rank. It's what caps their potential because they're only able to go so far without the proper beliefs. As you go through the success cycle, you will find that each of the 12 activities will build your belief. They have been designed specifically to help you grow and nurture your belief. So many of you have seen doTERRA's healthy lifestyle pyramid. This is the foundation of a healthy lifestyle. But today, I want to talk to you about the belief pyramid. This is the foundation of a healthy doTERRA business. So what are the basics and the foundations of your doTERRA business? Let's start at the bottom here. We've got belief in product. This is foundational. If you don't believe in the product, your business is going nowhere. Okay? Next up from there, we have belief in the company and the opportunity. In order for you to build a successful business, you have to trust the owners. You have to know that you're in good hands and that you actually will make money. You believe that there will be fruits for your efforts. Next, we have belief in you. What is your belief level in yourself? Do you believe that you can do this? Do you believe that you can be successful? If you take a look at the comp plan, you'll notice that anything gold and beyond really requires the engagement of your leaders. So you have to believe in your leaders. You have to believe that they're going to show up for their teams, they're going to take ownership of their doTERRA business, and you have to believe in them. Next, you have to believe in your why. Now, when I say why, I mean your purpose, your passion. What is the reason you're doing doTERRA? Why is doTERRA the right vehicle for you? And then ultimately, at the peak of the pyramid, we have your influence. Influence has to do with legacy, making an impact beyond just what you did during your life, but what lives on beyond you. Each of these beliefs are stepping stones to achieve the higher ranks of doTERRA. So in order to become elite, you have to believe in the product. In order to become premier, you have to believe in the company, not the opportunity. To achieve silver, you have to believe in you. To get to gold, platinum, you have to believe in your leaders. To advance to diamond, you have to believe in your why. To advance to blue or presidential diamond, you have to believe in your influence. So there's a direct correlation between what you believe and what you achieve. So diagnose yourself. Where are you in the belief pyramid? Where's the block that's holding you back? And go to work on that belief. Belief is contagious. As you go through the success cycle, your belief will grow. As you interact with your upline, your belief will grow. As you interact with your downline, your belief will grow. Belief spreads, so take the time to engage in these core activities and your belief will grow.
Andy, I know how much you love that video.
I know, I think it's time for a refresh.
That hair is good. Right?
That's right.
It's great hair. But that concept is so powerful and it's real. We've seen it happen, time and time and time again. It's what works. It's what is happening. And I thought when we first started doTERRA, that was crazy, that how could it be that tuned into belief, that it's just about believing, but it's real. So that's where you're bringing that certainty on the product. And how many of you, in seeing that, you think, oh, I want to grow belief in those things, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want it, right? And that's really going to help. It has helped us so much in our life to develop belief in all those areas. So again, do like Andy challenged you with his amazing hair. See where you're at and what you need to focus in on and building your belief. And let's have that be one of your key homework pieces from today. How can you build your belief? That's one of, sometimes the personal development time might just be focused on building that belief, whatever it is. When you have that foundation, nothing can rock your business or rock you. You can just build and move forward.
I like to think of belief as a gas tank too. It's not something you just fill up once and then just drive forever on.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those daily things that we get to constantly be nourishing and filling and treating ourselves like someone we love.
Wow. I love seeing in the chat and how many people have lived the truth of these belief levels. And it's just goodness. It's truth. We've dialed into the things that work and the things that will make a difference. So we're so excited for that, to help it be more clear for you and help you be more successful faster so that you can make a difference. Love it. Look at all those people weighing in on that. So how did we resolve the concerns about my new builder's lifelong vitality concerns? It really took more using.
Yeah.
And it was crazy that she ran out for a little while. And then she came back to me, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize how good that was making me feel. It had happened kind of gradually. So one thing that I even recommend is that sometimes people take double doses for the first 5 or 10 days so they can get cell saturation faster. Because sometimes when people aren't seeing results quickly, we're just, kind of used to those quick results, right? And if we're not seeing that, then it can seem like, oh, this isn't working for me, but it's not true. Rox.
That is so fascinating that you just said that, because I'm like, okay, I guess I need to be asking a few more questions when I'm getting someone started on Lifelong Vitality Pack, because I tend to start them slow, not thinking about cell saturation, kind of always with that little voice in my head that says, be careful, they might cleanse, right? And, but I love that, because really it's got to be individual. And so, of course, cleansing is not always negative, but I do typically find out a little more about the person's history if I can, like how much, medication have you had in your life? Is it something that you're on, all the time, or even social drinking, alcohol use and things like that. It's not that I'm judging them for their life. It's like, hey, just this stuff is going to help me know what load your liver has been carrying. And so that I can help you with this process of using this really amazing supplement pack and having the best experience. Because you're right, like maybe somebody who's been eating really well and had a pretty clean lifestyle needs to cell load and do, more than the actual dose for a little bit of time. And then someone who, and like we had that experience, I think, was it Greg Cook who said that he needed that, right?
Yeah.
I guess not everyone probably. If you're new, you don't know who Greg Cook is. Sorry.
He's an owner, but some people, like if you have a little skinny mini, they might not need as much cell loading, but Greg needed more cell loading, right? And other people that weigh more. Rox, I love what you're bringing up. And a lot of times I love that they have Terrazyme in the, in that basic healthy start kit. So we're getting like those key things, healthy habits kit. So as long as the bowels are moving and you're drinking some good water and getting lemon in, you should be able to just cut down on those cleansing reactions quite a bit. But we got to make sure that bowels are moving, if we're bringing in all this good stuff and we have a bunch of toxins, it cannot always be the best mix together. Right?
Point. So I guess maybe some of the questions would be that you're just like, it could be 3, I guess. Hey, tell me just a little bit about your medication history and maybe, you know, if you do drink, is it kind of like socially or every week, or how often are you getting alcohol in your system? And then, you know, would you say your diet's been pretty mediocre through your life and now it's improving? And then the last one is, you know, how are your bowel movements, right? Like, are you sensitive there? Do you get clogged up really easily? So that, you know, and it's like, I'm sorry, I know this is TMI, but I'm just trying to help you with your comfort level as you get started on this, for it to make the biggest difference.
That's awesome. Awesome. And great clarity. Love the things in the chat as well. If there's any die-off, that Terrazyme is helping it go out. You know, if you're killing any candida, it's going out. Some of the detox symptoms are sometimes headache, right? Sick to their stomach, that type of thing, right? That's what I see most often.
Or digestive trouble. So like diarrhea, you know, usually I just say digestive trouble. Let them fill in the blank.
I love it. I love it. So powerful, powerful. We want to address what you're asking about. You know, right now, a lot of people are shelter in place. Utah just got opened up for a few more people getting together, but we're still just being wise, right? So what are we doing right now to share and connect? And under these circumstances, how is it different right now? So I want you guys to weigh in on the chat on what's working for you right now. And we can tell you some of what we're seeing. So we are shipping. Shipping takes a little bit longer, but shipping is still happening right now. So we are shipping little samples. We are texting a lot, right? So I love shipping those samples, and also a Healthy Can Be Simple guide or a little reference guide. So they've got a few more ideas of what the oils could do for them, right? Texting the videos and all of those things. Right now is a great time because there are so many people that have less on their plate or less that they're committed to, right? How many commitments just were washed away overnight? So you've got a lot of possibility for mind share right now. And if you can share that in a way that's meaningful and engaging for those people, they can learn quite a bit along the way. And I love that. What else would you add? Rox, Andy, anybody else?
The chat has great comments coming in from people that I know are in Diamond Club right now. So they're kind of in a program. Those of you who are new today don't know what Diamond Club is. Maybe it's just basically a contest that's really putting people in a place where they have to kind of shoot and push hard and work harder than maybe they would be during this time. So read those chats, because those are coming in from people who are having results and accurate information there about how they're doing texting and online classes. And it's fun. It's fun to watch actually what it's forcing us to do if we weren't comfortable doing it before.
Absolutely. We're dialing in to some of these actions. One of the things that we have done too is lots of drop-offs. So, you know, we're not chatting it up with in some circumstances, or you might be chatting from the street or a few feet apart, or however people are comfortable. But I love it. My kids right now are doing sidewalk chalk. They take this masking tape around and they make a box, and then they put a few other lines down, and they do this cool design while I am dropping a sample. You know, I put 2 little samples in an organza bag, and then that Healthy Can Be Simple guide or in a little essential life guide. And I can just drop that off, and we've left a little joy for them, right? Because how many people are lonely right now and missing connection, right? Super key. So drop-offs, shipping, there are, and through the text and everything else, great ways to reach out right now and great opportunities. Love it. Okay, let's roll back to our guide. Any other questions there? Oh, I love what Daniela Romay, she's a presidential diamond from Florida. Daniela, raise your hand if you want to join us at all. But just so many people active in chats and groups right now. So asking referrals is way different than it used to be a couple months ago. That's awesome. Chat with the same people. So you're helping those people that maybe didn't have time before, right? And whatever their situation is, they might be opening up right now. Danny.
Hi, I'm gonna get my glasses. I was not prepared, but honestly, yeah, what I was trying to say is that business right now or people is right now very different. Our business is a totally different business that it used to be like 2 months ago, right? The mindset has been changed so much. 2 months to 3 months, like 6 months ago, our product and how I feel it was turned into a product that it was a need. I mean, again, it was a luxury product.
Luxury product, yeah.
Today, we're in a stage where our product is back again, a need, a basic need at home. So it doesn't matter how many people have we talked about, like in the past years or in the past months. Right now, everybody have a different mindset. Everybody have a different need. We'll need to feel empowered, to be safe at home, and to be prepared with whatever is happening right now. And we have the tools. We have the everything we need to empower others. I feel more secure than ever to share what we have right now, even to the same people that I've been sharing all my life. But now, today, it's a totally different mindset in a totally different, or probably different, same business. You know what I'm saying? Today, I can share the same people with a different mindset. It's a totally different thing. So it opens a whole new world of opportunities.
Wow. You nailed it, Daniela. That is so true. It's so real. I think that's what so many of us are feeling, right? How many people are here today because they're feeling the need to launch right now, right? And our world is needing it more now than ever, and it's a reality. And so it just opens it up, yeah, for those people that maybe we had on our list for 5 years or whatever. If you just start today, or if you've been in a while, doTERRA is essential.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Actually, we're reaching, again, the big guns that we reached before, and they were saying no, like everybody, again, it's not only a different mindset, but it is a different circumstances.
Different world.
So we have right now the best business, the best opportunity, and the best product. So more than ever, we are so confident that this is a new wave. This is a new beginning. This is an opportunity that anybody can have. It's just a matter of deciding. Just go for it and don't hold back, because holding back, it only gonna let you behind. But the new wave, the new train is happening. Like it's gonna go past. Like you going or you stay.
You either get on or you miss it.
Or you're gonna miss the train. With or without the FTO, honestly, it's a great bonus, but it doesn't even matter. The truth is, there's no better prize than the result of empower all these people and create miracles. And like we see right now that, because like Karina was saying, because we said yes, we have an amazing organization that is, we call it organization in a business matter, but it's a community of love, and it depends on you, and you just gotta say yes to create something beautiful in a world that it's all we need. Mm-hmm. The only way to save this planet is just to decide to serve and be nice and care about others.
that stallness that we felt a few months before, I mean, could have been weeks. I mean, we were just together at this beginning of the year, and lo and behold, I mean, we were all like, oh, kind of like, how are we gonna, shift into gear and be re-energized?
Connect with where people are right now, and how do we do it better than ever, right?
Imagine what the powers, from up above installed for us. They had it in store, and we can become. You can decide that whether you want to be part of the statistics or part of the light that's going to guide us through all this darkness.
Wow.
And I think that's really powerful, and I'm really grateful. And we feel really empowered to the point where we feel almost overwhelmed with love, with commitment, and with what we need to be and where we need to be. Are we ready? Are we, worth what are we going to give people the worth that they deserve? So it's a big commitment.
We're excited. Honestly, we're more excited than ever.
Wow.
We really are.
Yeah.
Do you know, as you hear Daniela and Fernando speak, like, do you feel that they are just being opportunist about this moment, guys? Like, anybody, write it in the chat. It's okay. You feel like they're just being opportunist about this? Because, like, the only thing I feel from them is like, I'm here to change the world, and nobody is going to stop me. And
let me clarify something. It is an opportunity. Why not taking it? It's just depending on the perspective you give it. I'm totally opportunist. This is the opportunity to keep changing the world, to grow my legacy. It's just, what are the crystals that you want to see it? Like, I am totally opportunist. I declare myself an opportunist to change the world. I'm in.
But I will add to that the fact that it's not that we're doing it with smoke and mirrors. We're doing it with truth,
service, and with God in front of it. Like, that's our flag. That's our flag.
And we've lived through it. We've been on the other end, and it's like not somebody told us and we're telling you. No, we lived it. And all of these rock stars that Danny is talking about, all these people that we have been trying to come in and bring in all of our years and everything, they have seen it. They saw us when we were like with nothing, and we were struggling just to survive, and now we are empowered and we are opportunists, because whoever is out there to listen, we're here to tell you the truth and lead you into it.
We have a second chance. The first chance that we had was when we were bankruptcy, heartbroken, and we had nothing, and we took it. And today we have the second opportunity to be a vehicle. I'm opportunist and I'm selfish. And you know why I'm selfish? Because I've learned that the more people that we get to help, or we get to bring to this community, all these people turn me into a better person. I want to keep being a better person. And that's because of my awesome community and my awesome leaders. And I want more. We want more. We want more. I'm opportunist and selfish.
I love it. We want to bless more people in more ways, because we know what it has really done for us. I love it. You guys, these are presidential diamonds that have not had the easy life. They have felt it, they have lived it, and they know the difference, right? When we learn to value health, when we learn to value freedom, then we'll have the courage that we need to share this message in the way that we need it, right? And nothing will get in the way of that. Not what anybody else thinks, not what anybody else says. Like, that's all an illusion. Just let it go and keep going with your passion, like you're just feeling from the Romays, because that is real.
And and again, if someone calls you opportunist, just invite them and show them how to shift that mindset. Because honestly, that's our job.
I love
That's our job. Shift the mindset of the scarcity, the mindset. That's our job. And I love it.
And
So
you guys are doing it.
You're
Thank you
living
for your
it.
example.
Thank you.
Guys, would anybody say no from an invitation from Daniela and Fernando?
Serious.
No, because did you feel their certainty? Did you feel their passion, right? You dial in to some of that too, right? And you bring that to your invitations, and boy, you'll have people ready to learn
And when
more.
they say no, we ask again. So don't feel discouraged.
It isn't no, it's not right now.
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet.
They just don't know what we know, guys. So you have to remember, they don't know what we know. So that's why we go back. That's why we share again. Because when they know what we know, they're going to be so grateful that we kept coming back to them.
Absolutely.
And we cared enough. Yeah.
And you guys paved the way for all of us.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
What we can be right now to others, you were to us.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. And I know a lot of our people that is in this call, like they're grateful for you guys too, and we always will.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's a team thing. We each need each other so much, and it's such an honor for us to work. And we're so excited for those of you that are launching to start to know this kind of love and meaning, and that you can actually do this every day. You know, it's so powerful. I used to dream when I was a little girl that I could be a teacher and that I could save the world, right? And look at what we're doing, friends. We are doing that together. And it's not so crazy, and it's not just a little dream. This is real, and you can choose into this in such an amazing way. And there's never been a better time than today. Never.
I agree.
Amen.
True.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you. Oh, I love it. Okay, guys, we're having so much fun. We really got to get back to this launch, but it's going to still be fun. Can you feel the power of the invite? From the invite, we're going to the presentation, which is where, you know, that's the prezo. That's where we're sharing the message, right?
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, like that message, you invite them to come, and then you're dialing in. And so much at the very beginning, you don't have to be the best teacher. You don't have to do all of that. You can just host and invite people, right? You can host an online class, a little Zoom call. You can host just a Facebook Live where you're doing a class like that. You can just plug your people into a Zoom call a Zoom class that your teams are doing. Right now, we are seeing these kind of delivery. We are seeing a mega class being taught, which is a larger Zoom class that people are just inviting, right? You might have 2 times a week on a team where people can just invite or plug into that class. And if your direct upline doesn't have one, then go ask your next upline, hey, when are you holding classes so I can plug into those classes? And you can come and learn more about how to present, and you can come and be there with your person and answer questions. Maybe they're texting you during the class and you can be there for them in that way, right? So this is what just that basic class looks like. And you can do it wherever it works. And these are just the key elements of it. So if you are just doing a one-on-one and you're going to watch a couple videos online and then you're ready to dial in, like today, we literally are just using this PDF of this guide, or we're using the image of the guide, and you can do the same thing with the handout and just share it over Zoom. It's so simple. So this is just a basic layout. And if you're changing it for a one-on-one, you're just tightening it up and you're asking them a lot more questions and you're making it more interactive, okay? You find people in your upline by looking in your back office on your under Wellness Advocate Services, upline listing. It's a great way to do it. Book classes from classes is going to be key from this. So you might have invited 5 people to a class and 3 people come, and then you want whoever's teaching that class is going to offer something for someone to, hey, I want to teach, I want to host a class, and I want to invite my friends. And oftentimes that might be like a keychain is one option. And just dialing in on this booking classes for classes helps us get back to what Pamela was talking about of like, hey, right now it's a great time to ask for referrals. And the Romays were even talking about that too. So great, great opportunity, but these are the basics of the presentation. And really, you want to keep it super relevant to who you're sharing with. What's important is that they understand the message of what essential oils can do for them, and that they're ready to try that on, right? That you resolve concerns and they understand enough of the basics so that they can start moving toward that. On the other hand, you have the business intro, right? And remember that this is your message too, just like Daniela and Fernando were saying, like, hey, we are an opportunist. This right now is an incredible opportunity for people. And not sharing the opportunity would be a disservice, right? So this is a quick outline for that and helps you see the basic steps of that. And then also on top, you are having just those top presentation tips, just being clear on what you want out of the presentation, keeping your energy high, have those interactions ahead of time and being professional. So that's some key pieces. Now, we just added in this piece, which talks about how presentations can happen in different ways. And we're going to get all this design perfect and everything. We've been bringing it together, waking up early, staying up late, doing some magic here with this beta launch. But I love it. Luz loves using the build guide, but it's such a great way to present the business opportunity. And you can do that. Then supplement with some of those great videos, right? But presentations are happening in lots of different ways. These are some reasons. This top one in bold is going to tell you why you would use a one-on-one. Oh, that makes sense. That's my why, right? Why would you use a 3-way call right now or a 3-way Zoom? How about a virtual presentation, right? The mega classes that we were talking about. So, you know, mega class where you're inviting lots of people to, you can even have, you know, you might be plugging into that from your upline. There's also what we call a circle class, and that's just a smaller class, right? That friend down the street, she wants to host a class for her friends. She invites 8 people, and 6 of those people come because you've prepared them and sampled them, and there they are ready to learn in that smaller, more intimate class. And I like to call that a circle class because you're treating it like you're in person, even though you're over Zoom, and you're keeping that more better interaction. It's also great to do Zoom because we can connect with people all over the world, right? If you were doing classes and it was just for people in your backyard, you might just focus there versus getting beyond that and thinking more internationally and across the country. Like right now, with all that's going on over the internet, there are no limits. So make sure that your names list reflects that, and who you're choosing as partners reflects that. It's a great time to reach out beyond that. I love what you're saying about 3-way calls, guys. There's a great outline for those in the Empowered Success
Tools library.
Tools library if you need that, okay? More tips on just as you're doing these to remember those keys. And here's some FAQs, like what happens, what do I do if I feel unqualified to teach, or if people question CPTG, or they wonder about internal use, or if I keep having no shows or low shows, what do I do? So these are just some cool tools for you and to know how to respond. right, to some key questions and pieces. We've also included the class planner because we found, you know, like we were saying earlier, if you plan really well for a class and dial in on that and you've done the preparing, then you're going to have a great experience. So that class planner is in there. Do we expect that you're going to use that your whole doTERRA experience? Not necessarily. So, but use these things to support you in exactness so you can get it dialed in from the beginning. And I love the class planner because it's guiding the host on what their part is, and it's guiding the presenter on what their part is, and just helps you remember all the little details that are going to make it a great experience and help people engage, right? Love it. The FAQ section is awesome. And then we get to enroll, okay? So we've gone through our pipes. We've talked about preparing you, inviting, presenting, and enrolling your prospects, and we're right here at enroll. And this is classic, amazing 3 ways to buy script that is awesome. It goes into some of the options of kits and some great language for that. And then remembering some of the key pieces of your most powerful testimonial. I love just remembering that if we have key things at our fingertips, I always have customer sign-up forms printed, because sometimes there's an internet problem or we just want to write it down or whatever, and that gives us options. And having an enrollment kit handout is amazing too. So that gives you some great language to close a class, right? Some of us are not super experienced here, but we want to bring it, and that gives you that language. A lot of that comes from Back to Basics and Elisa's best scripts for closing, and she is a ninja closer. So I'm super grateful that we've got those awesome pieces in. And this one, it focuses in, Teresa Harding started teaching about there's 3 pathways, right? And Elisa simplified that to 3 types of people. And I love this script and how clear it is. And it helps people understand which role they want to play in doTERRA, right? So I want you to see how this just helps you dial in, right? So you have the scripting starting right here, and then that describing what the customer is. And if you haven't seen the scripting before, I think you're going to love it, right? But you can dial into this. And again, all these scripts, I want you to be practicing in front of a mirror, practicing with your family, practicing with your upline. Great opportunities. This is also going to guide you to, hey, what do I need? If they just choose to be a customer, right? What do I need to do to support them, right? And what is maybe the best way? If they choose to be a customer, you're probably signing them up as a wholesale customer and the kit of their choice, right? If they choose to be a sharer, I'm helping them get going and hosting a first class. I am, hopefully they get a Healthy Essentials kit or a plus, or a Daily Habits kit or plus, and I'm helping them understand how to share, right? And see this plus sign, like, of course I'm doing the live stuff for the people that learn how to share, and I'm doing the share stuff, right? So if somebody chooses to be a builder, I'm going to make sure they get the live guide and a lifestyle overview, and then I'm going to help them share and build. And for builders, we recommend the Natural Solutions Kit Plus. And this is just a little language to help go with that, to help people set up for success. I oftentimes see people not make as big of investment in the beginning, no matter where you are. If you show up for your business and have serious commitment in your business, it's amazing what that will do and how that will ripple. I see people that bought a Natural Solutions Kit then duplicate with that to other builders that they enroll. And it just helps their builders be successful, and then their builders be successful. So I totally agree. These scripts, you just practice them and dial in. And then you get to placements. And we've got the details here, but we want to go over some of the questions that you might have already and just show you this perspective. Overall, placement, you are seeking for this right here, okay? This ideal placement structure. And if you have this in your mind of this is what we're going for, this is what I'm seeking, we recommend that you print out a vision board or get a vision board on your wall. This is the first time in our life that we drew a few circles on a board, but it has helped us so much to get clear on who we were going to partner with, right? And choose those key partners. And then the people that they would partner with. And a lot of times these ended up being our dear friends and other people. We just couldn't have everyone on our front line, so we had to line it up in a way that just supported growth. So that's the question that we have found brings the most success is, how will this person grow best? So you're thinking about this new enrollment that has just said, yes, I want the Natural Solutions Kit. And your thought as you're placing them, your first thought is going to be, where will they grow best? And that's going to come back to you time and time again. If you make that choice based on where they're going to grow best, it's like we were talking about earlier, it's the seeds that get planted and bring fruits. They're going to grow best, and that's going to create synergy with this other person, and then the growth just continues, right? But these choices are super key, and a lot of times it'll be like, oh, I'm almost too elite, but this person is going to grow best right here. They're my other partner. But if I just place them right here, then I could get exactly the volume I need and da-da-da. So we want to invite you to never make a decision that would limit someone, okay? So make those placement choices from where will they grow best, and so many times that's just going to work out for you and everything you need in the business. But it's going to definitely create greater success for you and your builders, and it's going to create better structure. That means better compensation long term. So the more you can keep to this ideal structure, the better. And does it always work out like this?
Not ever.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all those perfect kids that you thought you were going to have, right? And then they turn out, they like turn 2 and 3, and then they turn 18. It's just not always what we thought it would be. So come back to loving what is in this process. And we're going to take you through a process to choose your partners. But again, you're enrolling these people, and if you know where they're going to grow best from the beginning, just put them there from the beginning. But then you always have the option to think twice, to have conversations, to find out more in that first 14 days. So then you can move them if you need to, so that they can get, maybe they're just going to be a sharer. And so you want to make sure that they're on that second line, and you're going to find the right partner for them to build with. Or they're just going to be a customer, so you're going to place them underneath one of these builders or sharers, right? That's how you're going to make those decisions. And one thing that's helpful is going back to that names list. Remember we had in the beginning where it said, hey, family members, friends. This might help you in deciding placements, right? Because you've kind of said, okay, out of my family, who do we think is most likely to be a builder in doTERRA or build successfully? And then we get to have those conversations, inviting them to partner. right now, even if you're going to, we went out on our first date the other night with a double date with someone else, right? And we got takeout and we went to a park. And that's how we did a lot of our partnering conversations in the very, very beginning. So we hope that you will engage with these people that you're choosing to partner with. And you can connect to them even right now. So maybe you have you want to have, like Pam has, she has a Brazilian leg, right? Or a niche leg. I have my yoga friends and they're all going to be on the same leg. So, yes, this is the part of the guide that we didn't get all done with our deadline. So there are some great things coming into this, but those are the key pieces. And I'm just going to bring up just a couple other things. There's a little section on upgrading or moving wholesale customers. So you have that to refer to. But again, do committed and capable. We should talk about that. There's a little guide on it. There you go. WAS means wellness advocate, that's a sharer. WAB means wellness advocate, that's a builder. So it has a little guide with it so it can help you dial in just a little bit. But Andy, committed and capable, that's been really important for us to take a look at people and say, hey, how committed and capable are they? And committed, you're gonna measure commitment by how people show up. They said they were going to watch the video and they watched the video. They said they were going to use the oils sample and they did it. They said they were going to talk to their sister and they did it. Like, it's just keeping commitments, and that's a committed person. Capable is someone that has, is able to influence people. So maybe one way to measure that is, hey, they enrolled someone within their first little bit of choosing to build. Maybe they enrolled someone in their first 3 days of choosing to build. So you're watching for those 2 factors of committed and capable. And you're wanting to keep those committed and capable people as close to you as possible, right? And place them where they're going to grow best.
And I love the build guide as sort of a litmus test to see how committed they are, because it just lays out so clearly what the first 3 steps are. And you can give them a time period. You say, hey, when's reasonable to have these 3 things done? And then hold them to it. And then that will help you as you're gauging whether they're committed and where to place them and how much, how closely you partner with them. So build guide, it's built in. You don't have to do a guessing game or study their genealogy. You can actually give them a test.
Yeah, that's the litmus test. And you're right. Like, you are worthy and deserving of working with committed and capable people. So do the work, ask the questions, get clear so that you can tell within that first 14 days where they are at on committed and capable. That's one of the reasons that we love to have somebody host a class in their first 14 days, because you can see so much from that, right? So do the litmus test. It's the bomb. This will help you. As far as where someone grows best, I want to hit on 2 points, because some people are like, how do I know where someone's going to grow the best? Like, I don't have a magic ball, Natalie. How am I going to figure that out, right? And I would say, first of all, you think about synergy is number 1. And these 2 guidelines will be in the guide. Synergy is number 1. Who's gonna sync with someone else, and they're gonna give each other ideas. They might even have strengths that are different than each other, but they're gonna work good together. They're gonna be better because they are together. And then the other one is location, right? If I've got someone in Atlanta and I'm talking to a new prospect from Atlanta, I'm going to consider, connecting, and that person's my partner. She's in Atlanta. We're going to connect this new prospect to my partner in Atlanta because they most likely could grow best together, right? So that just gives you a couple of ideas on how to do that. There's some more in-depth pieces that will mean more to you as you get to these placement decisions, but please know that you can call on your upline and that placements is a science and an art. And if I could tell you anything, it would be take the time to get still and think about that person and what would be best for them and where they would grow best, and just listen. Being inspired in your business is going to be so much, it's going to be worth so much to you. And it's going to make a big difference in other people's life. So take the time. What kind of difference where you are in doTERRA made for you. So make sure that you're bringing that to other people. Okay? Awesome. Take any questions on placements to your upline. They will help you figure this out. And it's so powerful. So this next section is on the follow-up after enrolling, right? So part of our follow-up process is just that lifestyle overview. It's taking the time. This is that watering the seed that you've planted, right? Now they have their kit. It's taking the time to help them use the products they have, set up a daily wellness plan, maximize their membership with LRP, and connecting them to other resources. And then at the end, you're inviting them to share and build. And it's that simple and that clear, okay? Super clear. So there's some things here on resolving concerns. If you run into any bigger oil issues, or we need to solve another problem, okay? So that is lifestyle overviews. That cannot be emphasized enough. And we just want you, that is so, so important. If you are not getting a lifestyle overview done for every person that you enroll, please engage your upline to help, or do a group wellness consult, or team up with your downline. But that is magic. It gets to happen, right? They say what you do, and we've seen this in your team. It's just in that very beginning stages when they're a little sprout, that if we can help them know how to use the oils then, and help them know how to apply it into their world and bring it into their life, then it will go on forever. We have some of those people that we just took care of from the beginning. And here we are 11 years later, and they are still getting that monthly order because we took that extra time to take care of them from the beginning. So best investment ever. Make sure you're doing that. This part is about you being supported. You can partner with your mentor, whoever that is for you. And if you don't have somebody to partner with, just keep following that upline listing till you find someone that will support you and be a mentor to you. This is a great part that will just set you up for success in that relationship. These were some power questions that some top network marketing experts brought together. And if you can ask these questions out of the gates and be clear on these together, you can really be set up for a strong relationship. And this also gives you some good tips on being mentored. Your mentoring might happen different ways. It might be in a 30-minute strategy session once a week. Your mentor might want to be willing to give you an hour once a week, but you got to be wise on that mentoring. And if you bring great, if you invest in this, here's the success check-in, that if you have your people fill in, if you fill this in and send it to your mentor, that'll be better and amazing. Then you're set up for success, and they can help you so much, okay? So make sure that you're filling that in and just taking a snapshot with your phone and texting it to them, or a snapshot with your phone and emailing it so that they have that. Any questions, friends? This right here, we are going to be able to wrap. We're going to be able to do this. We are packing it in. This is taking you to develop mindset. And how many of you have heard of Napoleon Hill and his amazing book, Think and Grow Rich? Again, the importance of mindset cannot be emphasized enough. You know, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And this is the confidence statement that he had something similar in his book, Think and Grow Rich. And this is just adapted for doTERRA so that you could just be building your confidence through this statement. You plug in the pieces that work for you, adjust it however you desire, but take the time to work with your subconscious mind and access the powerful creator that you are right here with this confidence statement. So you're going to keep developing your mindset, and basically this is the last part of the launch guide, which is, you know, once you're launched, you're helping launch others. And I have a lot of people ask us, hey, where do I find builders? They are all around you. They are waiting for you to lead them. And so I think it's a great question to ask on a regular basis is like, where are the people that I'm meant to lead? Where are the people that are meant to build with me, right? And this is the great place to bring those top rated people. If you're dialing them in, I love what Seth Risenmay and Rod Richardson say about, hey, these are $1 million real estate spots on your front line. And you're going to be super selective on who you choose as your business partners. And choose those people, like they were saying, that you want to have joy with, that you want to build with, that you want to grow with, right? And you might dial in who those people are right here. And you're going to present the key pieces. You're going to clue into what influences them so that you can connect to them. And then you're going to help launch them. And that launch process, you're going to help them choose into the commitments that the build guide brings of like, hey, I want to build a pipeline and I do want to partner with doTERRA. And this is the level at which I want to partner. And I'm ready to get started. Like the build guide just takes you through that process naturally in a guide. And as you launch these builders, you're going to help them go through the same process. We're updating the guides here, but basically this shows you the process of the 6 weeks to elite, right? So you can see this process and how you will support those people that you are launching. And then one of the key ways for you to support them is by mentoring those new builders. And this is going to guide you on how to mentor them, right? So that they can leave your time together in a quick strategy call, knowing what to do next and feeling that they can do it. So, friends, that is the new launch beta. This is our like hacked up guide. This is not from doTERRA. We have just done this on the side ourselves right now, just getting all the goodness that's working right now all together. Yeah. 2 minutes to spare. Let's see. You guys, we want to celebrate you for making it through this process with us. And we want to congratulate you for choosing this amazing opportunity. because you are wise. You are in for the thrill of your life, the growth of your life, right? What did one of our leaders say to us the other day? They said literally, hey, I thought I was just going to do business with you, but this is changing every part of my life and making every part of my life better. So that's what we're inviting you into. We're inviting you into what Roxanne's husband calls, he calls doTERRA this essential oil company, personal development company wrapped up in essential oils.
So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for taking a stand and being a voice of hope, especially in this world where there's never been a greater need for hope. And being a voice of health when this world, there's never been a greater need for health. So let's go out there and bring solutions to the world en masse. Let's be those change makers that the world is begging for right now. So,
amen. Hey guys, remember just 3 things to do as you walk away from this. You're going to take that names list and dial it into your top 45 on your success tracker. Do that process with the names list. You're going to get your launch guide in your inbox from us as soon as we spend a few more hours on it.
It's not quite ready to ship. Probably saw a few blank pages in there.
It will be imperfect, right? Are you with us? Are you okay with the imperfection?
This is the beta group.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Testers.
Okay, so you're going to do that. We talked about practicing your scripts with someone that you can practice with. So you're getting good with that. And, you know, I hope with some of your teams or your upline, you can do something crazy like a text blitz or something where you're challenging yourself to reach out, because it's already time to share. So that's our invitation to you. Dial into your names list, practice your scripts, and then go out there and share, because you've got a message the world needs. The world needs it right now, and people are waiting for you. And we're so excited for what change you will bring about. Friends, this is going to be an incredible journey.
And if you didn't register for this webinar, then you can text the word SHARE, S-H-A-R-E, to 801-515-2707, and we'll send out the recording and the launch guide. Thanks so much for joining, everyone.
Buckle up. Lots of love from here in Utah, wherever you are. And we are just cheering you on in this launch. We are looking forward to lots of celebrations come May 31st and June 31st, whenever you choose to launch. And so excited to be on this journey with you.